Hello, everybody. This is Christina Fasonic, broadcasting live from Wheeling, West Virginia, on a very hot and muggy evening in what I think is probably the month of July still, maybe. Anyways, I'm on COVID time. I don't know. So I'm bringing on my co-host, Damian Dressick, and we will introduce our new writer for this evening. Hello, Damian.
Good evening, Christina. How are you tonight in Wheeling, West Virginia?
I am fantastic, actually. It's all good. A little bit warm, but, you know, that's the way July is. It's not quite the dog days yet, so.
No. But I like this whole dog days thing. So this is our first show as quasi-colleagues.
Yes, that's right. Today we learned that Clarion University and California University of Pennsylvania will be integrated.
I'm not sure
that's the word that the chancellor has chosen to use to talk about our.
Yes, our upcoming.
So I'm excited. How about you?
Well, you're so excited, Christina. You're not moving. Why, you're frozen with excitement. But I know we've got a terrific poet on tonight. We've got Brent House from California University of Pennsylvania, and you're going to tell us all about him. I hope.
Yes, I will. So Brent is a very good colleague of mine. He's our poet in the house, and so to speak. And he is a contributing editor for the Tusculum Review. And he is a native of, and I'm probably going to say this wrong, and maybe you can say it better, Damian, because you know. Is it Necaise, Mississippi?
I believe it's in Jackson County.
It's French, right?
I believe it's in Jackson County, Mississippi.
Okay, where he was. Oh, cool. Where he raised cattle and watermelons on his family's farm. And I do know also that his father was a Greyhound bus driver, which is so cool because he has lots of cool stories about that. Slash Pine Press published his first collection, the Saw Year Prophecies, which are, the whole collection is amazing. He gave me a beautiful hand-done copy of it a few years ago, and I've treasured it because it's wonderful poems. His poems have also appeared in journals such as the Cream City Review, which is probably my favorite journal, Denver Quarterly, the Journal, Third Coast, and Kenyon Review. He teaches creative writing at California University of Pennsylvania with me. So you said prior to our broadcast, Damian, that you had a few tidbits about Dr. House that you would like to relate to us. Would you like me to bring him on and see his reaction, absolutely, or would you like to do that before?
Let's get him on out here.
Brent!
Hello.
Good evening, Dr. House.
Hello. It's Necaise, like a kneecap and a briefcase. Necaise.
Ah.
Necaise.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like Nico Case, except no O.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Thanks, Brent. Appreciate that. I know I hate mispronouncing the names of things because the names of things are very important.
Yes, it's a family name.
So
yes.
Speaking of things, yes, speaking of names of things, I've determined you are the third most famous Brent House in the United States.
That is true.
Yes, you are not the hotel in New Orleans. No. Although I can see that your office is, much like their description of the hotel, elegant and filled with modern style.
Yeah.
Nor are you, thankfully, an Episcopal church in Chicago.
Yeah.
But I have seen that you have. I also love the Cream City Review, but a journal I really like that I don't hear much about anymore. Alice Blue. You had work in there that is absolutely awesome. I love your poem in there, and I'm going to. I don't ever do this, but I'm going to do this time because it's such a great poem. This is. Let's see. Pastoral, 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 pastoral. I love that. It reminds me of Necaise poem, the watermelon sonnet. That's wonderful. I love that. I love that journal. I was like, oh, he's got work in there. That is so cool. So thank you for writing that poem.
Oh, thank you for reading that poem. I title most of my poems Pastoral. It makes my life so much easier.
He absolutely does, and I believe I've ribbed you for that before, haven't I?
Yes, you have. I might change my mind about that someday, but I doubt it.
Hey, if it's good enough, if it's good enough to talk about Bruegel, it's good enough for a lot of things.
Yes, and Brent's poetry is absolutely wonderful. Everything you've ever read or I have read that you've written, I've really enjoyed. So,
Thank you.
anyway, but you're not reading poetry for us tonight.
I'm not.
So you have an essay for us. Is this a micro?
Yeah, it's just a little micro essay. It's summertime. When I was a kid, I would go to vacation Bible school. It was my favorite part of summer. So I'm feeling a little nostalgic for, summer in Mississippi and vacation Bible school. So it comes in 4 parts. It's memories of when I was 6, and then I was 12, and then I became a teacher at 18, and then finally I graduated and just came back to see all my little cousins when I was 24.
Okay, we're ready for a little
Awesome.
VBS.
Okay, let's go to vacation Bible
All right.
school. So this essay.
But we're going to go away.
Oh, okay, bye.
We're going away, and then
We'll be back.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, well, this essay is called Even Angels Call. It's in 4 sections, 6, 12, 18, 24, based on the age that I was with every memory that I'm going to share. Even Angels Call, 6. On the last Sunday night of summer, I sing, Jesus wants me for a sunbeam, among the little flames of our vacation Bible school, and I stand straight as the fluorescence above us, our fervent charm illuminated by generations of faith, glows as phosphors in the love of our parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles, until the shared blood of our veins rupture on the altar, as prayers of our open heart write the initium of our covenant, fill hollows of our baptistry, flow to a yard set aside by a chain-link fence, and settle into our soil, under the shadow cast by a cruciform steeple, lifted by the hands of men who could build most anything on a Sabbath afternoon, in the common hours between morning at the pond and evenings in the pasture and garden where they raise the sheep, pick the beans, and squash our mothers cooked, place in the fellowship hall, cover with foil sheets while they sit in the pews, listen to the songs of children they call angels. 12. Riding to craft with the junior boys, I sit high above the wheel well in the bed of our Deacon's Ford, outstretch my arms for a quickening breeze along the yards of highway between our red-bricked Baptist church and Brother Andrew's place, not far past Mr. Bernie Ray's double-wide beer and Coke store, to a little house with a low-pitched roof braced and nailed together to withstand the winds of every passing hurricane, even Camille, then painted green as the greenhouse where he husbands the blueberries, advertised with a U-Pick sign nailed to the corner post, in the workshop where the mailman delivers the weekly penny pitcher ads and the monthly power bills. The double doors open in this last summer to the tools and work of our fathers, to lengths of 2 by 8 by 12s we cut, sand, and lacquer into yellowhammer boxes for the eaves, where one family will fledge their hatch, return each year to protect our house from the others. 18. Holding her niece's hand, Penny finds an empty sanctuary, the children outside eating morning snacks, teachers in classrooms posing flannel graph lessons, Daniel in the lion's den for kinders, David and Goliath for primaries, Peter on the water for juniors. While I descend from the attic from a search for props to create a farce for Camp Can Do, where she acts as camp counselor as they jump into her lap, drip red rubber sweat and craft paint, and fall asleep to songs unknown to her, who doesn't even know John 3:16, a verse I read her first, while she laughs as she speaks of the pierce and flow, bear record of her sins, among saplings of cottonwood and whitebay cut and set in buckets of sand and water, hay bales from Brother Doug's field of alfalfa and timothy, our sanctuary walls covered in butcher's paper, the bark we kneel and paint as crowns of needles and leaves reach around the baptistry river, beyond the fake campfires, just a red bulb with thin sheets of aluminum above the pulses of air, an illusion of flames. 24. Husband to the preacher's daughter and bound to covenants, I returned to Shiloh to hold the pew behind my father, near the cousins who built their birdhouses better than mine, as their wives wrapped blankets crocheted by the women's auxiliary around newborns who reach from solid cribs, when their fathers return from the yards and shops I never mastered as well as the verses I hold in memory, longer than the lives of children who sit now on the blue-papered floors around planks and corner posts cut, bored, and strung with manila rope to shape a pier leading to mercy, God's way, Big Fish Bay, and the altar where Penny, a line of cousins, and I knelt to pray for salvation, where I asked him to send Jesus, even an angel, to call holy words from my mouth, and I wait, long after our children bow to the congregation, as Sister Carol plays Just As I Am through the fourth course, when Brother Arthur blesses the children, their baskets full of coloring sheets, popsicle stick crafts, and the last cookies from a week of passing among hands that reached to wipe us clean. Thank you.
I love that last line. That's so great.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think, David?
No, I like that a lot. Yeah.
And I thought that I really love that meditation on common hours.
Yeah.
I was thinking I've studied that a lot, partly because of the Common Book of Prayer, which is one of my fascinations. And I just could imagine that in between the plowing of the fields, in between the gathering of the crops, in between mealtime, this idea of common prayer, the common, moments of quiet contemplation.
Yeah.
That was really wonderful.
And so often those common moments, because it was a small rural community, everyone could get together, say a little prayer, and then, do yard cleanup day or, work in the church. And there was always something to do. It was like a 7-day-a-week institution where there was always a part that we could play. And it was such a strong community. I'm so grateful for that place.
I like the way...
I'm sorry, Damon, go ahead.
No. I was going to say, I like the way the narrator notices different things at different ages and focuses on different things. I like the movement there.
Yes.
And I think at 24, that last age, all of a sudden I noticed those hands that fed us those cookies, because I don't think I ever really appreciated that when I was 6 and 12. It was just a thing that happened. But at 24, you're like, oh my, it takes work to take care of a whole bunch of kids. And it takes, a community to gather together to keep us cared for every single week. And it was just lovely to think about all those hands.
Absolutely. And I think you're right. That's it's invisible work that we just don't see. It reminds me of the great Hayden poem about Sunday mornings.
Yes.
It's my favorite poem of all time. And the idea that his dad got up in the blue-black cold and he made the fire and he shined his shoes and he took care of the family. And those were things that as a child he could never have understood. But it's something that later he realizes were just profound. And it's the same thing with the cookies and the making sure everybody has something to eat when someone passes away and things like those essential things that we just take for granted.
And I think for me, moving away from that place makes me so nostalgic for that community where it was cousins and aunts and uncles. And I don't know that I'll ever get back to that place again. But at the same time, there's beautiful communities that we make without being cousins and aunts and uncles. And I have that here, and I'm so grateful for that too.
Yes, absolutely. And it made you who you are, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know who I would have been had I not, stood on those stages for those vacation Bible school plays, and that was like a prerequisite to everything that I've done since then. It gave me courage.
Awesome. So before we go, could you do me a favor and say the word poem?
Poem.
I love that because no one else I know says poem the way that you do.
No one else I know
says. It gives like a richness to it.
I've heard Maya Angelou say the word poem, and she's the only one I know who says it like I do. So I feel so connected to her because we share that one pronunciation. It's
amazing. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you so much for letting me share my essay with you guys tonight.
Thanks a lot, Brent.
You bet.
It was wonderful. And I guess we're all colleagues now. Hooray.
Yay. Welcome to Clarion/California University of Pennsylvania.
Whatever that might be.
Yes, we'll take it.
Okay, bye everybody. We will see Monday, right?
Monday.
And who's on Monday? Is it? Let me spin the dial.
You were hunting that information down. So, yes. Brent, one of the things that you come by your poem pronunciation honestly, because we went to school within about 10 miles of each other.
Uh-huh.
But I was not a native. I saw you went to William Carey.
Yeah.
I did my PhD at Southern Miss.
That's right. You sure did. I saw that. Yes.
And I do not poem. I poem.
I can't even try it because it sounds horrible when I do. So next Monday we have Nima is going to be on the show on Monday.
Very cool. She's great. She's really. I'm really looking forward to that. She's a terrific writer.
And Amy Jo Burns will join us on next Thursday, a week from today. So we will see everyone around somewhere, and we'll definitely see you on Monday. Thank you again, Brent, for being on.
And thanks everybody for tuning in.
Yes, absolutely. See you all later.
Take care now.
Thank you.
Bye.